Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Slumber Party. So, tonight we're going to be going through some newspaper archives for tomorrow, September 23rd. Let's see what we find. We've got 1911, Albuquerque Morning Journal. 1945, the Evening Star, Washington, D.C. Let's check that out. 1945, what was going on in Washington? Defender of a Nation. General Jonathan M. Wainwright, whose heroic defense of Bataan and Corregidor became an inspiration of a nation and a living symbol of victory, returns the greeting of a grateful capital. Seated at left are Miss Wainwright and General George C. Marshall, Army Chief of Staff. Okay. Heroes of the Washington area. Wow, check these people out. Coast Guardsman Howard L. Smith Seaman, First Class, 223 First Street, Northeast, contributed to the defeat of the Japs, while serving aboard a troop transport in the Pacific. I have portraits, or a portrait of my grandpa that looks similar to that. I'll show you guys. General Samuel L. Howard, USMC, another of the heroes of Bataan and Corregidor. General Howard, commander of the 4th Marine Regiment, directed the beach defenses during the siege of Corregidor. Now home after more than 3 years in Japanese prison camps. Wow. He has been awarded the Navy Cross for his courage in the heroic but hopeless defense of the tiny island fortress. I don't think I've ever heard of Corregidor. It must be in the Japanese Sea. During the prolonged siege, the citation reads, General Howard, although exposed to many repeated bombing and strafing attacks and terrific artillery bombardments, displayed outstanding qualities of courage, leadership, and efficiency. You were pretty efficient, General, when you were being attacked. Thus rendering an outstanding service in action by maintaining his force at the peak of battle efficiency under the most difficult and hazardous conditions. General Howard's regiment had been on duty in the Philippines only a few days when the Japs struck on December 7th, the unit having been transferred from Shanghai November 28th. During the many months after the surrender, before his release by the Russians, the 54-year-old general was held at Bilibid, Formosa, and finally Hotan prison camp in Manchuria. Wow, this guy in his 50s. Men aboard a Coast Guard manned supply ship in the Pacific selected these husky Coast Guardsmen as typical of their superior chin whiskered crew. Daniel P. Overmath, Seaman, First Class, United States Coast Guard 2055, Park Road, Northwest, is doing his part to preserve safety on the high seas by serving aboard a patrol frigate in the North Atlantic. There is a cherished cove. Huh. Within its sturdy seagoing qualities and long cruising range, the Wheeler 75-foot yacht is capable of long open water runs. Designed by one of America's premier naval architects, it is a luxurious, comfortable home afloat. An illustrated brochure will be sent on request. That looks nice. There is a cherished cove or harbor where at sunset your cruiser or yacht will turn in and lie at anchor. Here you will find peace, serenity of spirit. This untroubled way of life on the water can be yours when peace dawns. Then, for your treasured boat, you can turn to Wheeler, an honored name in shipbuilding. Wow, got me hooked. I want one. Bernstein was 11 years old when the phonograph was invented. When Thomas Alva Edison announced his invention of the phonograph, Bernstein's reputation for quality and value was already well established. The beautiful ring, illustrated from an estate, features 3 fine diamonds weighing approximately 2 3/4 carats, an original Tiffany mounting. $895 in 1945. Others $30 to $3,000. People were wasting money. I've never been a fan of diamonds. I just never really got it. Picture of the week at the National Gallery of Art is Allegory. I wish we could see these images better. By Lorenzo Lotto Crest Collection. It will be the subject of a brief talk at the gallery twice daily this week, tomorrow through Saturday at 12:40 and 1:40 p.m. A lot more advertisements. The Gossard line of beauty, a complete line of Gossard foundations. So this is Washington, D.C., 1945, September 23rd. Handsome adjuncts to any man's wardrobe. Gold-filled jewelry to be enjoyed and treasured. Perfect for engraved initials, attractively packaged. So cufflinks, I guess. Paints and varnish. Jeez, whoever freaking photocopied this. Here, a group of airborne firefighters is briefed before taking off on a mission. A soldier firefighter gets set to jump as the plane nears the drop zone of a forest fire. Lots of jewelry advertisements. Let's go back. (1906) 1900. Let's see if we can find any old ones from like... Oh my god, look at how many pages there are. Oh my god, 1855. Richmond Enquirer volume. 1855. Let's check this out. The scholastic year of this school begins on the first day of October and ends on the last day of June. The French language is spoken in the family of the principal, and pupils boarding with him are required to converse in French. Wow, where was this? Richmond, Virginia. Pupils from a distance will be received during the holidays, July, August, and September, and charged at the same rate as in the season. A school advertisement. Auction sales. It's kind of hard to read this. More schools. Let's see if there's any other pages. There are. What's this? Poetry. 1855. Let's check it out. A Dream Picture by T. Westwood. I wonder if he imagined somebody in 2021 reading his poem. Here we go, T. Westwood. This is for you. My eyes make pictures when they are shut. Coleridge. She lay asleep in the shadow of the branching palm by the side of the noble river that rolls forever, its broad abounding tide, through the heart of Egypt's sands, amid red tomb and temple and pyramid. She slept in the palm trees' shadow, and over her shoulders fair, like the sunset's glow on alpine snow, lay the web of her golden hair. And ever as fair and freely her bosom rose and fell, from its white caress one wandering tross stole forth as if it to tell that a dearer sound than the rivers or the winds and the waving tree did ebb and flow, did come and go, the pulse of that eager heart below that throbbed so tenderly. For she lay asleep in the shadow of the branching palm, but afar her thought roved true in its fantasy beneath a northern star, and even a happy smile would throw over her lip and cheek its gleam, and ever she murmured soft and low, as a cooing dove in her dream, "O joy for the rest and the haven won, dear home I've sought be long. O the bonny burrow, now it leaps in the sun, and the throstle, how sweet its song. In the sultry south a rosy glow, now flushed, now died away, the red flamingo, tackling slow his burning Nubian way. The droning water wheeled Gavo out, their sad inciting sound. Anear was heard the Arabs shout, and trooping camels round, 'neath the spreading tree, browsed placidly on the grass of the shady ground. That the golden orient swayed no more the sleeper's soul, for afar her thought roamed free in its fantasy, beneath the same cold star. And ever the happy smile would throw over lip and cheek its gleam, and ever she murmured soft and low, as a cooing dove in her dream, "O joy for the rest and the haven woo, dear home I've sought thee long. O the chime of the bells, how soft it swells over the heathery hills and the windy fells, and the throstle, how sweet its song. And for me that dream unbroken, no jarring change doth know, by the might of a spell no tongue can tell, my soul doth keep it so. From the swarm of shifting shadows, from memories dark and fair, I turn afar to my youth's bright star, up the visits of years, and there I see her still in her beauty, 'neath the branching palm by the side of the royal river that rolls forever, its broad abounding tide, through the heart of Egypt's sands amid red tomb and pillar and pyramid." Wow, it's beautiful. Let's see what the other pages have to offer. Oh, there's no more. Only 4 pages. Alright, let's see. Look at one more maybe. Oh yeah, let's go back to the last page and check out the press intro. This is Chicago, October 12th, 1959. So they were touting fire insurance because they was burning everything down. A lot of attorneys back in 1850s. Machinery hardware. Low water detector. Interesting. Fire insurance. Alright, so let's check this out. The Press Tribune, Chicago, Wednesday, October 12th, 1959. The Great Music Depot. Music books of every description to be found in the Northwest, and that they sell for each at wholesale or retail. The lowest possible prices. They are sole agents for Steinway and Sons of Metal Piano. Ogontz, rubber belting, billiard tables. Maria Gray, heiress of Redstone Hall, by the celebrated Miss Mary J. Holmes, will be ready. New York Weekly. Let's see. I wonder if we can just go back to where we were. Was it here? Yeah, it was here. It's 1908. Let's check out this. (1884). Wow. October 3rd, 1884, the Evening Star of Washington, D.C. Let's check out the first page. Washington News and Gossip. Government receipts today. Internal revenue, $424,000. Customs, $436,000. Silver purchase. The Treasury Department has purchased 350,000 ounces of silver for delivery at the New Orleans and Philadelphia mints. Wow, they're informing the people of this. Leave of absence. This was before the Federal Reserve, mind you. Leave of absence for 3 months on account of disability has been granted to Major David Perry with permission to leave the Division of the Missouri. Wow, they're informing the public of what they're doing in the government. It's pretty cool. Let's see what else we can find. Hino Tea, Martin Gillett and Hino advertisement for the week. Hino, I wonder what that really is. The Evening Star, published daily except Sunday. The Star Buildings. This evening and Saturday matinee. These were the plays that they were playing. It's pretty cool. At the National Theater. Lincoln Hall. Let's go back. I want to find something that catches my eye. One more thing from the 1800s. Let's see what we can drum up. Let's see what we can drum up. Let's see here. 1858, St. Charles City Republican Intelligencer, Iowa. This she be the one. Let's go to the first page. Republican Intelligencer, St. Charles City, Floyd County, Iowa. Thursday, January 14th, 1858. Let's see what was going on. St. Charles Hotel. In 1858, we have advices from Washington that the Commissioner of the General Land Office has already issued a proclamation offering for sale all the government lands in Iowa which have been surveyed. This will cause a greater rush to our state during the coming season than we have ever before witnessed. It is understood that all those lands which have been here heretofore offered at public sale and were withdrawn from market on account of the railroad grants, but which do not lie within the 6-mile limits of the railroad grants, will be open for the sale and entry in the latter part of February. These lands comprise all the even-numbered sections lying between the 6 and 15-mile limits of the railroad grants. Wow, interesting. More attorneys, stores. The banking question. The leading journals throughout the Union continue to discuss the banking question, but there is yet no unanimity of opinion regarding the practice remedy for the evils of the present system. So in the 1850s, they were criticizing the current banking system and calling it evil in Iowa. A pure specie? Yeah, currency is not now practicable, and perhaps no commercial country will ever restrict itself to a specie currency. But the difficulty is to devise a mixed specie and paper currency, which shall at all times and under all circumstances be equally safe. If there were gold and silver enough in the country with which to carry on all its industrial and commercial operations, there would be no wisdom in placing the gold and silver in bank vaults and issuing promissory notes as mediums of exchange. But the amount of specie in the country is limited and cannot be augmented at pleasure. Neither can we prevent fluctuations in the amount while we carry on trade with foreign countries. Hence, trade and commerce feel the necessity of an auxiliary currency. Wow. So we're looking for things that rhyme, right? So this is the 1850s, and they're looking for this currency that's going to work for their current needs, for how their society operates, right? So instead of the trade amounts between distant places and countries having commercial relations. This is super cool. The precious metals, apart from their use as mediums of exchange or representatives of value, have an intrinsic value and enter into the list of valuable products which are exported and imported in the general business of commerce. There is consequently frequent fluctuations in the commercial value and the production of the precious metals. More than this, if there were not an ounce of gold or silver in the world, trade could still be carried on, as the ingenuity of man would devise modes by which exchange of products of labor and of earth could be made. So the precious metals are the most stable mediums of exchange, but they possess no miraculous virtue which makes them a sure protection against financial revulsions or commercial dishonesty. If there were not a bank nor a bank note on the whole American continent, there would be periods of financial distress and of stagnation in all the branches of trade and industry. There would be grand defalcations, embezzlements, and suspensions. To carry on trade or manufactures to any extent, there would be a necessity for credits, and when the hard cash failed to be forthcoming to redeem those credits, there would be the unusual declaration of insolvency. A half eagle will no more appease hunger than will a $5 bill. And if the bill can be made to command at all times and in all parts of the country as much bread as the gold piece, the bill is practically just as good a medium of exchange as the half eagle. What we want, therefore, is not exactly a paper currency convertible at all times into gold or silver, but a paper currency auxiliary to our specie currency. I'm going to have to look up what that means. So well secured that it will always, according to its denominations, command equally with gold and silver pieces of corresponding denominations of value, the service, the food, the clothing, or the luxuries which we need or desire. To supply in this desideratum should our banking system be confined, and if this were done, we would not be exposed to the curse of an inflated or worthless paper currency. Wow. Well, I think we're going to leave it at that, you guys. Super interesting. Yeah. This was the St. Charles City Republic Intelligencer, January 14th, 1858. Let's go back to the first page. Here we go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Smash the like button and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. We'll go exploring again. Peace and love.